Hi there, thanks for joining me. So today I would like to do a games I've been playing video. I mentioned this in my last pickups video, I guess, and Human Plus EXE was nice enough to comment, just saying like, "Hey, are you gonna make that video?" I was looking forward to that, so I figured I would do that tonight. I'm just pointing a camera at the television screen. Seems like Sony on the PS4 for some reason has made it difficult to just record the home screen, recently. So anyway, one of the games I've been playing, and I'm going to talk about a couple major games, I guess, and maybe I'll just mention the other stuff I've been playing, but it's Elden Ring, right? Let's go ahead and fire this up, I guess. This was a gift from one of my buddies, which I really appreciate. I was really, I was getting caught up in the hype about this game, right? Because there's something about, when there's a lot of buzz out there. I was seeing like virtual YouTubers and stuff like that. I watched some HoloLive VTubers. They were playing this game, right? And it looked really interesting. So anyway, I decided I wanted to give it a shot, right? Thankfully my buddy got it for me, so I didn't even have to get it for myself, and I could give it a whirl. Now, what I have here is, they're basically the mage class. It's got like my level. I'm level 70, right? You can see my stats there. I'm using astrologer. That's what it is. I'm using a dagger. I'm using a staff. I think I actually have a better staff than this demi-human queen's staff, but I haven't really leveled it up yet. I've got a bunch of these summons and things like that. It's cool. I think the learning curve is really steep on this. I really feel like I was approaching the game, like I was approaching the game with preconceived notions, for one. So I thought these were just melee focused games, right? Like I didn't really think magic was like really a viable option in them, or like kind of different play styles, really, right? And, I expected it to be challenging, which it is, but what I really found was, like, the language of this game, like, its gameplay language is very foreign, right? I almost feel like, my sort of open world fantasy gameplay is really informed by things like Skyrim and stuff like that, right? It has concepts from like Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of like other kind of dark fantasy things and other games and things like that. It's not completely out there. It's not totally alien, right? But I'll watch people play this on YouTube and I'm like, oh, like, this is what it's like to watch someone who is kind of skilled at these games play through these parts that I played through, right? And when I played through them, they took me hours, right? And they played through them, and it took them like a few minutes, So, I had to learn. I had to like come up with strategies and try to figure out like what it might be possible to do and things like that. I made another character before this one. It was a melee focused character. I spent about 15 hours playing that character, and that was pretty much all tutorial for me. That was just learning how to play this game, and it was very frustrating. I almost traded the game in a couple of times. My buddy is probably the only reason why I ended up continuing to play this game at all. He was all he was also playing it, and he was like, "Hey, have you tried the astrologer class?" And I was like, "No." So I tried it out, and it was a lot nicer, right? There's pros and cons. There's some things are harder, some things are easier, but like I got stuck on this. I beat, what is it, Margit the Fell Omen, and I beat Godric the Grafted, right? But I was in, I think that's at the end of the castle, Stormvale Castle, and then I'm in Stormvale Castle, and there's this knight there, in this room. It's like that room that you get locked into originally, and like I could not employ any of my, you know, sort of basic strategies of this class, which is pretty much like stay back and spam spells, right? I was really literally stuck on that for quite a long time, and I was, you know, trying different things, trying to make it through that battle. I did end up looking it up online, and I was pleased to know that other people playing Astrologer were having a lot of trouble with that. So I was like, okay, it's not just me, right? But there's all kinds of things about that battle that I had absolutely no idea about. For one, you know, when you first get in there, you get locked in there, so I figure you're stuck in there, right? But you can actually go back out that door. I think subsequent times when you go in there, you're actually able to, the door is open and you can just leave, right? So that's one thing that really, you know, could conceivably help my class a lot. You know, another thing is like the way the enemies in this game behave. They really feel like enemies from old NES games or something like that, right? You know, they tend to behave in kind of dumb ways, but in kind of like these set patterns and things like that, right? And like their attacks aren't dumb. Like they'll be sometimes extremely aggressive and come after you in you know, ways that that will kill you very quickly. But that particular enemy, if you leave the room, it'll actually just eventually just sort of walk back to the place where it starts, right? And if you walk in, like if you sneak in, you can actually sneak behind it and like backstab it and things like that. And like I don't know if I even would have assumed that like that enemy would behave in that way at all, because like it's a small room and like it seems like you're kind of in its line of sight all the time. Like it's just weird. Like the language of this game is like I still don't understand it. It's obtuse, and I knew that. I feel like this is one of those games. It's a modern game, and it's modern in the sense that it's made in the time of the internet, and it's made in the time of kind of like social gaming, right? So, you know, I had a pretty different experience with this when I started playing with one of my buddies online a little bit, right? And so I didn't even know that there was sort of cooperative multiplayer in this game. I kind of thought it was all just like people griefing you and like coming into your game and like PKing you and stuff. But like you can play with your buddies, right? And now you can't, like not only can you play with them, like you can beat bosses with them too. It goes from being like kind of horrendously challenging to being ridiculously easy. A lot of the fun of this game is overcoming these challenges, right? Like you get these bosses and they're difficult. And I think there's this kind of appropriate difficulty, right? Where you're gonna maybe try a battle 2, 3, or 4 times. When you can beat a battle those amount of tries, I feel like it's an appropriate challenge. And when it takes you, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 tries or more to beat a battle, I feel like that is too difficult, right? And so I kind of feel like being able to play this with my buddies, it's like we could just do all of those battles in one try, right? And when I play them on my own, like it'll take me 20 tries, you know? So somewhere in between there, I think, is the appropriate level of challenge. The challenges that this game throws at you, I feel like take persistence, and they take skill, like kind of just mechanical skill, right? You know? And a certain amount of knowledge of the game, right? And I can tell that I could be enjoying this game a lot more if I like knew what I was doing a little bit better. I've spent 60, maybe over 60 hours in this game. Yeah, 72 hours, right? And this is with this character. The other character I did like 15 hours with. For me, it's going to be like 150, maybe like a 200-hour game. I'm like, I've had my fill, I think. You know, I kind of played it while other people were playing it. I got to play it with one of my buddies. I got to see what it's about. I got to learn how to play the game a little bit. It's fun. It's a good game. It's just not really my kind of challenge, and I think I don't want to put in more effort right now than I have already. to get better, you know, kind of get good. And yeah, you know, I saw what it was like. You know, you don't spend 72 hours playing a game you hate, right? You know, it's a fun game, but I don't think I have the wherewithal to keep playing that game. So another game I've been playing a lot of is Mordheim, and you know, this is much more my speed these days, I guess. I don't know. This is a adaptation, you know, a video game adaptation of a tabletop, I don't know what you call it, war game, right? A tactical strategy game, a tabletop miniature game. And, you know, obviously it's by Games Workshop. I had never really heard of Mordheim. My buddy who's really into Games Workshop games, and we, you know, play the tabletop games together.
Mordheim, City of the Damned.
Together, right? Was like, hey, this Mordheim game is super cool. I'm gonna get it. We should play it together. Like, you know, you need to get this. It's on sale, stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get this game. And just, you know, a little jab at my buddy. I really got into this game. It really hooked me. And like he's never wanted to play the game. It seems like he hasn't really played it on his own, and he hasn't wanted to play it against me. And you know, I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, but anyway, it's fine. So what this is, it plays very much like the kind of like we've played other tabletop games like this. It's essentially a skirmish, scavenging game with a kind of a strong campaign to it, right? So, you know, what's really cool about this, like, you have a warband, basically, alright? So, you know, your warband, here's the warband management. You can hold up to, you know, however many people can be in your warband. 10 active people in the warband that are going to go out into the field and fight. You can have up to another, however many, 12 people in reserve, right? So, and you hire all of these people. So anyway, obviously this is kind of dark fantasy. You've got stuff like, you know, these sort of witch hunter type people. These are like undead, so not necessarily vampires, but you've got like vampires, zombies, what are these guys? They're zombies. Ghouls. And then, you know, some of the other races, like, will, you know, can join your stuff. So you've got, you know, I've got this one Skaven that I like a lot. So anyway, so what's fun about this? There's a real resource management and scavenging element to this. So basically, like, we are employed by a faction. On each of the maps, there's this weird stone. It's scattered throughout the map. It's the resource that you're trying to get. It's like it does something, you know, important in this world. Is how people like can gain power, right? The more of this stuff you have, the better it is. So you've got these three factions. You know, these factions will compete with each other a little bit. So like if you've been selling a whole bunch to one and your reputation's better with them, the other factions might actually offer you more compensation for the weird stone, because, you know, they don't want you to, they want to undercut their competition, right? So that's an element to it. Obviously, you know, there's a shop. You can, it's got a rotating stock, so you can't buy everything all the time. In fact, you're probably going to be like keeping a pretty close eye on this to see if like you really want better whatever weapons for one of your, or armor for one of your dudes, and like you got to wait until it shows up. But you can also scavenge that stuff in the world. So let's go ahead and we'll just go to the next day. Okay, we've got people who are injured. So one thing about this, like, there's no saving. Like, you can't save scum this. This is like, you're gonna play a map, right? You're gonna compete against another warband that's going after the same resources you are. You have secondary objectives that are gonna be things like steal your opponent's, you know, totem or something like that, or like kill certain of your opponents and collect their dog tags, essentially. But basically, you're going to play until one of the two sides is routed, which is basically like a morale test, right? So like, if you've killed 10 of the other, you know, like 12 dudes that are on the other team, like the last 2 guys might, you know, are probably going to fail their morale test and just run away. Sometimes it happens way sooner than that. At the end, you're literally like rolling on a table just like you would with a tabletop game. You're sort of rolling on like an injury table. So these dudes can, you know, and this will have permanent effects. Like these dudes can die. They can be permanently injured. They can be temporarily injured. Like these are literally, these are actual hardened veterans, right? Because they've come through each of the battles that we've played previously. If they've been taken out of action, they've had to roll on an injury table, and like, you know, one guy's missing a leg, one of the other guys are missing an arm. Like, you know, we've triumphed against a whole bunch of other people, and like, you know, dozens of people have died and been, you know, taken out of this warband, right? And the guys we have left, like, they've leveled up and they have, you know, better equipment, and they have good, you know, skills and things like that that we've trained them in, you know. So like, I really like that about this game. It's really cool. So basically what we're going to be doing is, you know, looking for different kinds of missions. There's story missions, and then there are just, you know, these skirmish missions where basically you're going after weirdstone mostly, and scavenging for items and such. So here you've got an average amount of weirdstone, a poor amount of like items that you can find. It's a normal difficulty based on like how strong my warband is. Here, again, poor and average, and a normal difficulty, and normal difficulty. So you can run into things that are like brutal difficulty, and you know, sometimes these things can be really challenging. But right now we're doing pretty well. We can send scouts out, and we, you know, cost some gold. We can find some other stuff. So yeah, actually, here's one that's hard, but it's got, you know, it's got average weirdstone and good, you know, other stuff, items that we can scavenge. It's also a different kind of mission. It's a weirdstone rush. Basically, we're trying to get more weirdstone, and if we get more weirdstone than the opposing warband, we actually get like a bonus. So one thing I want to say about this developer is I think that they've actually been doing, I mean, maybe I sort of noticed the publisher a little bit more, so it's possible they work with multiple developers that are developing games based on Warhammer franchises, right? But it seems like it's maybe the same developer. Seems to be, you know, doing pretty well with making some like Warhammer games that are pretty cool. It does seem to be kind of a mid-tier developer. You know, I think that this game actually holds up quite well. It's just that kind of like the AI in some instances like gets stuck on things where like that a player wouldn't actually get stuck on, right? And I don't think you notice it quite as much, except when it comes to the impressive warriors, because they do make a pretty big difference in terms of the like your battle strength, right? Like when the enemy's like impressive warrior is like stuck on a wall or something like that, and then just isn't doing anything, it's just it seems lame, right? So, you know, we want to take a look and see how the layout is here. We don't actually get to see where the enemy warband is, but we get to see where their cart is. So this is the enemy warband, Death Before Dishonor. It looks like they're like, I don't know, Crusaders or something like that. So we're trying to route them, put them out of action. Oh, that's right, we're weirdstone rushing, so we're trying to get at least 55% of the weird yeah, and it shows us, you know, kind of how. So we've got we're split up. So this is basically my leader, 2 of my zombies, who are quite good. I really like the zombies in this. Okay, this is our wagon, and we have, okay, so my impressive warrior, the 2 hero characters basically are here too. Okay, so that's a cool group, and then unfortunately that means I think that there's some ghouls like by themselves someplace, right? So I need to find them. Here they are. Okay, so, oh, I guess I only have like 1 ghoul, so 2 zombies. Philip is strong. But this is like kind of a little bit of a weaker group, and it's actually kind of near their wagon, which, I mean, if they're spread out, it might not make that much of a difference, but I think I'm going to start moving them toward our wagon. Sometimes it's nice to kind of control where you have your altercations. Obviously, the inside of here is like probably a good spot, but I mean, if I'm trying to gather my guys here, like maybe we're going to fight in somewhere in this area. But we'll see. We just have to actually like move. So let's start going this way. I want to kind of keep an eye out. Oh yeah, and actually there, I think actually maybe it's where that red pillar of light is actually where. Oh, okay, and I'm familiar with this map too. This is actually like this is down in on another level from where we are. So I could probably climb down there, but we're gonna have to climb down. So that's good to know. This is about as far as I can go. I'm going to ambush anyone who comes near. And that's it. So you can see here, so this guy was scavenging. Now it's Philip's turn. So the turns, you know, they aren't in order of like who is grouped together. They're in order of initiative. Oh, okay, I can see where this guy is. So the zombies are slow, so I don't think I'm going to be able to really, you know, attack him. But I'm just gonna get here. I was gonna go after that weird stone that he just went after, so I'll see if I can kill him and take that from him. But, you know, enemies are not going to go down quickly necessarily in this game. Sometimes it'll take multiple combat or just rounds, you know, multiple turns. So we can provide probably some ranged cover, which will be quite nice. Yeah. Okay, and there is someone over there. So I'm going to see if I can position her so that she can provide cover from more than one location. If I wanted to do crippling shot, okay, I can do it through the grate here. She actually has a 72% chance of landing that, so I might as well do the damage now rather than later. Also, if I remember correctly, I believe crippling shot actually reduces their action points or their movement. I forget what the movement points are called. Oh yeah, actually she can, she basically gets a free reload too. Alright, so I think I'm going to do a regular shot. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and reload. I'm going to see if I can go into Overwatch. Probably. Yeah. I think we're going to go into Overwatch from here. So it basically means she's going to automatically attack if somebody comes into her line of sight. Oh, okay, yeah. So this, the thing with the character is they have a stupidity check that they have to pass. They're not very intelligent, and they will fail that pretty frequently. Okay, it seems like they have an impressive warrior on their side too. Oh no, they're just a hero. This guy's a hero. But here we go. Yeah, that one I'm a little more concerned about. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, they're just a hero also. Okay. Yeah, so these guys really ought to just keep trying to collect weirdstone. The only weirdstone near them is over here. So we're going to go after that. So I always find it entertaining, like, my zombies don't have much agility, and I kind of, like, specifically don't increase their agility much, because I put their stuff into other, their points into other stats. So, they're always clumsy, and they hurt themselves when they, like, try to climb down or climb up things. For some reason, it amuses me. Okay, so one of my zombies has been engaged in melee combat. We get a counterattack because we have the action points to do it, essentially. You don't always get to counterattack because you don't always end your round with the action points. But yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and counterattack. It's a 62% chance to hit, which is not, guaranteed, but it's like, 2 out of 3, pretty much, so, it was worth trying. Okay. And he was able to hit me. He was able to hit me again. So, wow, he has, like, 3 attacks, 4 attacks, something like that. Okay. So, it's actually this guy's turn now, so I'm going to get a chance for some revenge. So what I'm going to do, I think I will attack him. We've got a 70% chance to hit. I don't know if that takes his parry stance into account. But anyway, he's got a lot of hit points. We're going to probably do 2 attacks and then go into Web of Steel, which is like a stronger parry stance. So we got our 2 hits in. We're going to go into Web of Steel. And hopefully he's not really good at kind of overpowering parries, but because he has so many, whatever action points apparently or something, then we might be able to, end up getting hit a lot. Unfortunately, also, we have this dude, so... And, like, dodges and misses are different. He missed, there he hit, and our parry failed, so that was a bummer. Alright, so, you can see clearly once melee combat starts, especially if you get a couple people going, that guy's in trouble. But we have quite a few of, dudes, in the vicinity to provide support. But it's kind of a big deal when you lose guys, too, sometimes. It affects your morale. And, you want bodies on the field. They're helpful. Also, they end up having to roll injury at the end too, which can kill them. It can do bad stuff. So, all right. Okay, good. So Philip is now going to get some revenge here. It's hard to know exactly which of these guys is going to be best to go after. One of them certainly seems to be strong. This hero character, oh, he's their leader, and he's a hero. Okay, so we actually have their leader and a hero character. So, I mean, another thing, too, like, if I could take their leader out, that is going to probably affect their morale quite a bit, although we do want to have time to, like, get the weird stone, right? So, I don't know. I think maybe I'll try attacking him, though. This does not seem like a terrible idea. I'm going to strong blow because I have I feel like they're not called action points, offense points maybe, for it. And then, he should be able to do Web of Steel because he didn't have to walk very far. So that's not bad. I might want to have, well, let's see what we can do here. She's going to get essentially a free reload. That's just because of a skill that I gave her that reduces the cost of reloads. Oh, he's also engaged, that's right. Because he's engaged with one of my guys, it reduces your chance to hit by quite a bit. But it's still quite useful. It is kind of a bummer though, because like with this crippling shot, you do really kind of want it to hit because it's going to reduce his like offense points, I believe, which is going to be really useful in order for like my guy to stay alive, right? So we're going to reload. I think I can get one more shot in. Maybe a regular shot or an aim. I think I'm going to aim because it actually is going to have a much better chance of hitting. There we go. It was actually a crit and it stunned, so that was quite nice. I don't get to really do any kind of like Overwatch or anything like that at the end though because of that. And he failed his stupidity check, so he's just going to hang out there like a moron. He's actually missing a leg. I feel kind of bad making him jump down because of that. It also means he can't climb. So, I mean, he can walk upstairs or something, but he can't actually climb up a wall or something like that. Alright, so we're starting off with Maxim as usual. I guess he has the best initiative out of everyone. We're still going after this word stone that apparently is just out here. But he's pretty slow, so we didn't quite make it. But we can at least kind of cover this one, so in case anyone else comes after it, we can probably attack them. Alright, so I definitely want to get involved in this battle that's happening. I at least want to poison these guys. Yeah, so let's go hit both of them. So I have the option of headshots and vital shots. Vital shot has a greater chance of crit. I think headshot can stun, but that guy literally is already stunned, so we're just gonna shoot. I really think the only reason that I don't have a 100% chance of hitting him is because he's engaged with my guys, and I missed, of course. So we got that 25% chance of missing, but you know, it's just percentages. So if we do it again, you know, chances are we're going to hit with one of these. There we go, and that was also a crit. Okay, that was a nice parry, so Web of Steel helped there. He failed his parry and he's in some rough shape, but he was only able to attack twice because of that crippling shot, which was really helpful. Also, this poison is going to hit him again next turn, so hopefully we don't have to worry about their leader for very much longer. Alright, so he's out of action. That was pretty much bound to happen, unfortunately. They just got a lot of hits in on him. But they are, well, at very least the leader is pretty much toast. So I feel like that's, you know, to an extent a fair trade. Let's go ahead and loot him. He does have some items that might be kind of nice. That ups his parry chance, ups ambush and overwatch damage. None of my guys use pistols, but let's go ahead and grab that stuff. Philip is pretty strong, and if I can prevent him from going after my ghoul, I think it's absolutely worth engaging him. Alright, so he was able to ambush him because he walked into his line of ambush. His counterattack missed, which was great, and now it's our turn, so we actually get to, or it might have been his attack from his turn, but anyway. So we get to attack. I'm going to use Strong Blow, just because it's going to do more damage, assuming I hit, which was great. This guy's down to like half life, pretty much, and I think, yeah, just a regular dodge stance. He's got a 60% chance of dodging. It's, you know, it's good. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is move this little group into the middle. I don't think there's any point in us walking kind of the long way around, so to speak. I'm not just going to throw myself out there, though. I think I'm going to ambush stance inside of here and give my other guys a chance to kind of move in here. Now, we're able to see more of the enemies, you know, more things are heating up, right? So we've got this guy coming in, this dude's engaging him, which is no big deal. This guy's just a regular dude. Yeah, it's regular henchman, whatever. This guy is going to be scary, though. He's an impressive warrior. He's an ogre. So we want to be really careful about that. But I think really I want to, you know, focus on just making sure my guys don't get taken out. Alright, I think what I'm going to start with is to actually poison globe this guy. Poison's just nice because it works over time. So he got poisoned, did a crit, but it really doesn't matter because Philip has crazy defense. Wow, he has 3 attacks though. 4 attacks, okay. Good to know. Alright, so Philip gets his turn. Let's start with a strong blow. Right, that was a miss. So I'm going to do a regular attack and then go to Web of Steel. He's halfway dead, so really we're not doing that badly. So because these guys are actively engaged with my guys, and I'd kind of like for them not to be able to hit them as much, I'm going to try to crippling shot. Oh, there actually is a dude over there. Alright, so we're going to cripple shot. Yeah, this guy. And that was a hit. I mean, honestly, that other guy, I mean, there's poison there, and, well, still. I really wouldn't mind landing this. Knew it. So that was 1 hit, 1 miss with strong blow. We're going to do a regular attack, and this guy is hurting. That was a big hit. Failed the parry. Philip is strong, and that was a big hit that he took. Parried that. That was nice. This guy's a hero character, so you know he's gonna be tough. Oh, and here their impressive warrior comes too. Okay, see, you see how we got stuck on the building there? Like that's just one of the things with this game. Like it's, I don't really want to call it janky, but like it's like 95% of the way there, but that last 5%, it's like a little rough. Oh yeah, maximum. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead. I guess we're gonna try to, you know, well, we can scavenge this stuff. I also kind of want to get into the battle here and like help these dudes out, because the whole battle is happening here, right? Man, things are not looking good for Philip. He's one of my strongest henchman characters anyway. Oh man, and he took him out. Dude. So Maxim's pretty dodgy. This guy ambushed him, was not able to hit him. He gets a couple of attacks in. Unfortunately, I can't do my sort of defensive stance because I moved a lot, so I'm just going to have to take his attacks. You know what? We will do a headshot. Let's see if we can stun him. Yes, we stunned him. Perfect. Okay, so what this should mean is we get free hits on him. Really, anybody who starts hitting him gets free hits on him. So let's do, I guess I'll do a vital shot. That should have a better chance of crit. Did not crit, but that's okay. Hey, I passed my stupidity check. That is really cool. Can I run over and wreck that guy? I betcha I can. I think he's going to get poisoned, which would be a bummer, but I'm going to charge. I think what that will do is not use the rest of my action points, so I can use them for his dodge. His sidestep, it's called. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it didn't. Okay, good. So, yeah, we really nailed him one. We're going to go ahead and strong blow. So we got a crit on him because he's stunned, too. And we're just going to attack. He's done. Yeah, he's out. That was great. We need somebody to start collecting the stuff in here. I don't quite know how to get in there, but I think I'm going to have her start to look at how to do that. Boy. Is it up here. Aha. Aha, yes, this is the mother lode.
Objective completed.
Okay, so we routed the opponent warband. So we completed all objectives there, which is great. It gives us extra experience. So our characters do max out on XP, like on levels basically. But yeah, we got, I don't know, I think some extra weird stone and maybe extra items because we actually, you know, we won, and so we were able to kind of go back and scavenge extra things. We got an unknown formula, which is great because that could have us extra attributes you can add to weapons and things like that, and armor. We also got a hammer, which whatever. But the 2 master formulas is actually really good. You know, MVP is of course my immense warrior, or whatever they're called, impressive warrior. Alexei definitely, you know, it just wrecks stuff when he's not stupid. And we did lose a couple guys, so we gotta, you know, we're rolling on an injury table. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so a full recovery on Philip. That is fantastic. He really is one of my best henchmen. I believe he's, yeah, max, I think he's max level and stuff, so anyway, that's good. Next up, okay, so this guy is not max level yet. He got 1 mental advancement, which is like probably the least interesting advancement you can get, but you know, that's fine. Full recovery also, great. Alright, so that's really good news for our 2 out of action characters. I like this game a lot. It has just the right amount of like just one more time kind of gameplay, especially because like losing isn't really bad. I mean, it can be bad, but like especially in the beginning, you know, it's frustrating. You lose a battle, but even when you lose a battle, you still get XP. Your characters can still advance. You can still find, you know, equipment and things like that, and you basically are getting stronger. So you want to try it one more time, right? And the stakes, you know, being like permanent, it really lends some real stakes to the game plan. I think it makes it fun. You know, ultimately, I think, you know, I put this down and stopped playing it a few months ago. But I mean, I just played another game of it. It was super fun, and I absolutely feel like I could keep, you know, pick this up and keep playing. So I would like to reach the end of the story in this. I'd like to finish the story missions, and that would be cool. So, you know, if you're into kind of like, you know, tabletop role-playing games, or interested in a game that plays kind of like one, sort of like this, you know, it's like this tactical skirmish, like campaign sort of game, it's great. I highly recommend it. And it's not a competition either, right? Like between this and like Elden Ring or something, but just, you know, for me personally, I think this kind of gameplay is more my speed these days. And Elden Ring is a totally fun game that, you know, am I going to go back to it or not? I don't know. I don't think, you know, after playing over 70 hours of it, like I feel like I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of it. You know, I don't know if it has that same, like, oh, I have to, like, see the end of that game personally, for me, for instance, right? I don't know that, that, like, that's a challenge that I really want to overcome, but, like, I'd be interested in seeing the end of the story in this game, so, you know, we'll see. Anyway, I hope that was enjoyable. You know, please go ahead and check out my other channel. Especially if you like tabletop games like this, I've started a like a wargaming, like miniature wargaming channel. Kind of mostly for like my painting for miniature war games, but like I just did a pickup video where I just showed off all the, like I got a bunch of Resident Evil board games, right? You know, there might be some cool stuff over there you might want to check out. You know, like and subscribe to this channel if you want. But, you know, I'm doing a lot of pickups videos, occasionally stuff like this. But I'm kind of getting back into wargaming a bit, so you might check out that other channel too if you'd like. And otherwise, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you'll join me again next time. Take care, guys.